Hey everybody, and welcome back, or in if you are new. If you are new, you missed the first part of this video, which I'll put right here, comparing resume ranking, which I do every so often for college basketball, every week for college football, and I compare that to what the committee did and what they seeded the teams, and I will give you the full resume ranking from 1 to 68 at the end of that video. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But we're starting here with teams vying for the Sweet 16. We're starting with the second round here because I've already picked the first round. Alabama is going to beat Maryland. Alabama's a 1 seed. Maryland is a 10 seed in the resume ranking. Alabama was the number 1 overall seed in the resume ranking, just like the committee. So both of them were the same, but there were some differences. San Diego State was a 3 seed in the resume ranking, and they will play Virginia. And I have San Diego State beating Virginia. NC State is a 12 seed in the resume ranking, and Baylor is a 6 seed. And I have Baylor winning and advancing to the Sweet 16. Missouri is a 4 seed in the resume ranking, not a 7. Arizona is a 1 seed, not a 2. That's a toss-up there, but I have Arizona making it. I had them a 1 seed over Houston, and another team was above Houston as well. But Arizona was a 1 seed for me in the resume ranking. Let's move on to the next bracket. Purdue is going to beat FAU, who was an 8 seed in the resume ranking. Duke is going to beat Tennessee. Both of them are 3 seeds in the resume ranking. Kansas State is going to beat Kentucky. Kansas State is a 4 seed, and Kentucky is a 7 seed in the resume ranking. USC is going to lose to Marquette. USC is a 9 seed. Marquette is a 2 seed. So there is that side of the bracket. Now, Houston is a 1 seed in the committee's eyes. The 116 matchup here. Houston is a 2 seed in my bracket, and that will come into effect later in the bracket. Houston is playing Iowa, and Iowa, it was a 9 seed instead of an 8, and they will win that. Miami is a 5 seed, just like the committee had. Indiana is a 6 seed. I like Miami to beat Indiana. I know they have the bigs, but Miami is a scrappy team. I like their guards. All right, who else is going to advance to the Sweet 16? Iowa State is playing Xavier. Iowa State is an 8 seed, in my opinion. Xavier is a 4. I think Xavier is going to win that. Well, the resume ranking thinks they're going to win that. Penn State, a 5 seed in the resume ranking, and Texas a 2 seed. Texas will win that. Now let's move down to the last bracket here for the Sweet 16. Kansas will be playing Illinois. Illinois is a 13 seed. Kansas is a 1 seed in the resume ranking. Kansas is going to win that. Bill Self is healthy again. He's going to be back. Kansas advances there. Now, if you want to... Illinois as a 13 seed, even though they're a 9, the committee, go watch the previous video, and I ranked them all, like I said. VCU is playing Connecticut. VCU is an 8 seed in the resume ranking, not a 12. And Connecticut is a 5 seed, not a 4, but I still have Connecticut winning that game to advance to the Sweet 16. TCU is going to be playing Gonzaga. I have TCU a 6 seed, so does the committee. And Gonzaga, I have a 2 seed, whereas the committee has them as a 3. Northwestern is a 9 seed, in my opinion, going up against UCLA, who is a 3 seed in the resume ranking. They are going to beat Northwestern. So there are your Sweet 16. Now let's go Elite 8. Let's stick with this group here. Houston is going to beat Miami, a 2 seed versus a 5. Texas is going to beat Xavier, and that sets up a huge matchup to go to the Final Four in Houston between 2 Texas schools. Kansas is going to beat Connecticut, and Gonzaga is going to beat UCLA. And why not pick the winner here? Let's see who goes to the Final Four here. I like Texas. I like Texas versus Houston in the Elite 8 to advance to the Final Four. They are the higher 2 seed. That's what the resume rank had. This is all just resume rank, which is a child of mine, so I have to adhere to it. If you go to ESPN.com, you can look at my bracket. There's one that's labeled resume ranking, and then there's a Dependent Fanatic one. That's just my personal one that I had separate. But Kansas is going to beat Gonzaga. So that sets up Texas-Kansas rematch in the Big 12. Let's move to the other side. Alabama is going to beat South Dakota State, or San Diego State, excuse me, who is a 3 seed in the resume ranking. But Alabama, too much for them. Baylor is playing Arizona. Baylor's a 6 seed. Arizona's a 1 seed. Arizona wins. And then I think Alabama wins that game and advances to the Final Four. Let's move to the other region. Purdue. I think Purdue beats Duke. Too much size, too much Edey. And their guard play will be good enough to give him space against Duke, I think. Duke is a good defensive team, but they haven't seen anything like Edey. So Purdue wins that one. Kansas State and Marquette. Kansas State's 4 seed, Marquette 2. I like Marquette. And then the resume ranking says Purdue beats Marquette to advance to the Final Four. And then that sets up Alabama and Purdue. The resume ranking says Alabama is the best team. So they're going to advance to the national championship and win the national championship if you have followed. Texas versus Kansas. Texas was a 2 seed in the resume ranking. Kansas was a 1. Kansas wins that. And Kansas loses to Alabama. So there you have it. That's the resume ranking bracket. And like I said, you can go look at mine if you want to, that I have on ESPN. Search for the group Dependent Fanatic, and you can do as many as you want on there. And we'll see who wins. I'm not giving out any prizes, but bragging rights. So, like the video, share, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.